Shields up, Paladins, and welcome to an Overwatch Hero Guide. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'll be talking to you all about Baptiste and how I like to use this particular character. Baptiste is one of the many support role characters within Overwatch, as well as he has 200 health. Now, the first thing I would like to talk to you guys about while going into this is first his passive ability, which is called Exo Boots. Now, the description of this is by first crouching, Baptiste can jump higher. Now, the actual stats of that is the max range is 9.1 meters, and that is a full charge. Now, it takes 1 second for the boots to fully charge. If crouched is released, the boots will remain charged for 1 second. However, if crouch is pressed again during this time, it will reset. So that is his his passive ability. Now going on over to his primary weapon. So now his primary weapon is called Biotic Launcher. The type is a 3-round burst hit scan. The damage is 12.5 to 25 per bullet, or it is 35 or 37.5 to 75 per shot. The fall off range is 20 to 40 meters. The rate of fire is 1 burst per 0.65 seconds. The ammo capacity is 45 shots. The ammo usage is 3 per shot. And the reload time is 1.5 seconds. And of course, you can get headshots with this particular weapon. Now, something to keep in mind of this is that Baptiste crosshairs moves up as he fires, and the reload for the Biotic Launcher replenishes the ammo of both the primary and alternate fire. And speaking of the alternate fire, which is his secondary, is pretty much a healing grenade. So the type of that is an arching explosive projectile. The healing does 60. The projectile speed is a 60 meters per second. Area effect is a 3-meter radius. The rate of fire is 1 shot per 0.8 seconds. The ammo capacity is 12 shots. The reload time is 1.5 seconds or 0.95 seconds while continuously firing. Now, something to keep in mind with this is that this particular grenade, you do not heal yourself. This also goes through full health allies, and reloading Biotic Launcher replenishes the ammo of both your primary and alternate fires. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and go right on into his first ability. Now, his first ability is called Regenerative Burst. The healing you get is 30 per second or 150 overall. The area effect is 10-meter radius. The casting time is 0.3 seconds. Duration is 5 seconds, and the cooldown is 15 seconds. So the heal over time effect is applied upon activation. If allies go out of range, they will still receive the healing for the rest of the duration. If an ally enters the range after the burst has been applied, they will not be healed. Although it has a 0.3 second casting time, the animation before the cooldown starts. The effect is applied the instant the button is pressed. His next ability that he has is the Immortality Field, and this little thing has overall 250 health. It says it does some healing on this, but really what they mean by that is that within the Immortality Field, you will go down to 20% health and nothing lower than that while the Immortality Field is up. The projectile speed is 60 meters per second. The area of effect is a 6.5 meter radius. The casting time is 0.8 seconds, a second cast animation. Duration is 8 seconds, which is the generator, and the field itself is 8.5 seconds. Cooldown overall is 20 seconds. So, this prevents the health of Baptiste and his allies going below 20%. It even prevents environmental death upon healing the HP lost. This way will not give ultimate charge. Heroes with HP below 20% will instantly be healed up to 20% when entering the field. The generator can be thrown and it will bounce off walls. The arc is identical to the biotic launcher's alternate fire. However, unlike the biotic launcher, it will collide with the sky box. So this means that it cannot this cannot be negated by defense matrix or by deflect from Genji. The field requires a line of sight. But both the thrown generator and the field ignores barriers. The generator can be hacked, but this will also and will be disabled for the rest of the duration. Technically, the hack lasts for 10 seconds, but the generator does not last for that long. So, if the generator does expire, the field will linger for 0.5 seconds. If the generator is destroyed, the field will still linger, but not as long. Although the ability has a casting animation, the generator is spawned the instant the button is pressed and therefore cannot be cancelled mid-cast by a stun or a hack. And finally, Baptiste's ultimate ability, which is called the Amplification Matrix. So the damage is a plus 100% damage amplified. The healing is plus 100% healing amplified. Max range is 35 meters. Area effect is a 5 meter width by 4 meter height. Duration is 10 seconds and the ultimate cost is 1,960. So the Baptiste passively generates 1% ult charge every 3.92 seconds. Before being deployed, the orientation can be changed by pressing the ultimate key again. Amplified hit scans and projectiles attack alike coming from any direction. This includes abilities such as Blizzard, Dynamite, and Biotic Orb. Note that it does not change the total damage / healing for a Biotic Orb, just the rate of damage / healing. This does not amplify the damage of melee-based projectiles such as Chain Hook or Whip Shot. Combined with other amplification abilities, they are added together. For example, Amplification Matrix and Mercy's damage boost will result in a 230 damage. This can be destroyed by an EMP. So, with all this being said, how do I like to use Baptiste? Baptiste is one of those characters for me that he is what I would consider to be an off healer. He's not the main one to be out there doing all the healing, specifically if you have an Ana on your team, or even a Zenyatta for that matter. Zenyatta can do very, very good healing, as well as Baptiste for that matter. I've been playing with a lot of different Baptiste, and a lot of them have been keeping me up, specifically as like a Reinhardt or any type of tank really. You know, there are some very good Baptiste out there, but the one thing that I see constantly through all of them is that they use that passive ability, those exo boots. They like to jump up and kind of be on the upper ground and shooting down. And that's one of the things that I would like to recommend, is being somewhere trying to be up on top. King's Row is a great example where for a lot of times you can be up top and shooting down at your team, trying to heal them. That biotic orb that you have whenever you do shoot that grenade or whatever it's called, that does a great amount of healing. You know, even if they don't get the direct impact of it, even if they're just near it, that's still great because they can get all that healing on top of that. Plus, you can also try to use your different. I just lost track of where I was going with that. But basically, you can use your biotic or your grenade to heal, but also whenever you get your matrix, your amplification matrix, you don't necessarily have to wait for your team to have like all their ultimates. And that's one of the great things about Baptiste, is that he gives his ultimate back pretty quickly. So if you're just in a hairy situation, you can go ahead and pop your matrix and heal on top of that. And you know, you can heal your team pretty good. Or even if you have a soldier or somebody like that if you're sitting up in a good position where they can get you, go ahead, pop that, let soldier pop his ultimate, and he's just wrecking the team. You know, and he can do that pretty good. Plus, on top of that, you can shoot through it as well, or just focus on healing, however way you want to do it, you know. And that's the great thing about that matrix, is that you can either, if you see that your team's doing good, or if the other healer is doing a real good job trying to keep your team up, then you can kind of focus on a little bit of damage, but not much. Baptiste, in my opinion, is not a damage dealer. Sure, he can take someone out pretty quickly if you get all headshots, but overall, Baptiste as DPS takes a lot of time. And you have to use your amplification matrix all the time to use just as DPS, and that really destroys the character as a whole, in my personal opinion. He is way better at just really focus healing, kind of throwing a couple shots downrange whenever your team is still up and doing good, but that's really about it. So don't try to stay on the front lines with him. Try to stay near the back. Look at your whole team. That grenade, if a teammate is full health, they will not get healed by that, but that grenade will go through them to hit maybe the floor below, or to give someone else that healing. So that's something else that you don't really have to worry about. But that's where Baptiste as a whole can work. And also, if you see that your healing is not doing enough, you need to catch up. Don't be afraid to throw that Immortality Field that you have. Go ahead, throw that. That might give you enough time to go ahead and get your team healed, or throw that Immortality Field, throw down your amplification matrix, and just go to town healing. A lot of things can benefit Baptiste, but like I said, he's more of a stay in the back type of healer than being right there with you or being above you somehow. He is really, consider him to be the Batman of the healing group, where he has to be above, and that's where he shines the most, in my personal opinion. But that's how I like to use Baptiste as a character. If there's something that I missed in this particular video, please definitely leave a comment down below, and I'll sure to be able to answer or listen to how you like to use Baptiste as well. Alright guys, so thank you for watching, and hopefully I answered a lot of things.